What is going on, you guys? We are back with part 2 of our custom activity indicator series, and today we are going to be talking about the second activity indicator, which is two circles revolving around each other. This may look familiar because if you have TikTok downloaded on your device, this is actually the same activity indicator that they use in their app. So let's get right into it, and we are going to be starting with the same project that we started last time. So we're going to create a new file, and once again it is going to be a subclass of a UI view. We are going to call this rotating circles view. So we'll go ahead and get that all pulled up. Once again, UI kit class rotating circles view, subclass of UI view. And once again, we are going to override the init method here. Frame, super.init, frame. And I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. Basically, all we are going to be doing right now is creating the two circles and then creating the positions for those. All right, just to walk through some of this. So up here at the top here, we are defining our two circles with a padding from the left of 20 on both of those, and then a height and a width of 60. So this actually should be 120, my mistake there. So those are going to set each of the circles on the different opposite ends of the view. Our positions are going to consist of one in the left, that's the average size of 1660, one in the middle that is bigger, and then one on the right, which is also 1660, and then once again another one in the middle that is going to be smaller to represent the front and the back of the circles crossing each other. So with that, we are going to go back into our view controller here, and we are going to add the subview. So we're going to add a new configure function here, configure rotating circles. And down here, we're going to go private func configure rotating circles. And since we are doing this programmatically with our translates auto resizing mask in this others over here, this line right here, that is going to be programmatic. I don't believe I ran through this actually. So all of this is doing is setting a background color, setting the corner radius to half of the width so that it comes out as a circle. And then the Z position, so circle 1 is actually going to start on the left, and we want that to be in front. So we're going to have a higher Z position so that when they cross, it will appear in front of circle 2. Sorry, I forgot to run through that part. So back into the view controller in our configure rotating circles method, we are going to add let rotating circles view equal rotating circles view. Have to define that first, and then we're going to view.add subview of rotating circles view. And now we are going to run NSLayout constraint.activate because we are doing this programmatically. And we want this to run in the middle of the screen. So rotating circles view dot center x anchor dot constraint. We're going to set that equal to the view dot center x anchor. We're going to do the same with the center y anchor. Constraints view that center y anchor. And then we are going to set a height and a width, height anchor of 100, just like we did. Well, actually, sorry about that. We are going to set the height to equal to constant. Where is that at? There it is. We're going to set the height to 100 and the width to 200. All right. Now that we have all of that set up, we can go back into, actually I'm going to run this right away so that we can see what we have set up right now. All right, perfect. As you can see, we have the 2 circles set up. I actually have both of them set to blue right now, so we're going to change this one to red. And that is perfect. So we need our animation next. So we're going to create, similar to the last one we did, we're going to create another animation function in the subclass here. And we're going to do this with a counter so that we can have each position, so we can rotate through each position here. So we're going to define a counter equal to counter. So we are actually going to take in a circle, which is the UI view, so which one of these circles we want to pass in, and then a counter, which is an int. So we're going to set the counter equal to counter, and then we are going to run a UI view animate with duration, similar to the last one as well. So these values I just put in here. So these are all values that I have kind of dialed in. Our animations are going to be circle.frame equal to self.positions and then counter, and circle.layer.corner radius, because since we are changing the frame, we also have to change the corner radius of this width divided by 2. And we are going to run a switch on the counter. And what this is going to do is change the Z position of the first circle. So if circle equals self.circle1, we are going to change the Z position equal to 2. So if it's in the first position, we want that to bring it to 2 so we can bring it in front of the second circle. So that is all that is doing right there. And then to do the opposite of that, if the count is 3, so if the circle is in the third position, self.circle1, self.circle1.layer.z position equals 0. So that is going to bring it behind. And then we need a default, just because Apple requires us to provide one. We are just going to have a empty print statement there because it's not going to do anything. And then in our completion block, we need another switch counter, switch on the counter, and then case, if it is 0 through 2, we are going to increment the counter by 1, and if it is 3, then counter is going to equal 0 because we need to restart at the 0th position so that we can't run off. And basically it's like a for loop, but we are just incrementing it this way. Once again, we need a default statement, which we are just going to make a empty print statement. And then after all of that, we are going to animate the circle with the counter again. All right, so I believe that should build properly. And if we go, yep, there we go. And if we go back into our view controller, we are going to add this configure, or my bad, rotating circles view dot animates. And we actually need to run this with both circles. So rotating circle view dot circle 1 counter, and we are going to start that at position 1. Circles view dot animates, rotating circles view dot circle 2, and we are going to start that at 3. All right, everything should be set up properly now. We're going to wait and see to make sure this runs as it should. All right, so we can see the 2 circles set up here. If I go ahead and click, There we go. That is perfect. That is exactly what we were hoping for. So hopefully you guys find this useful, and let me know if you guys are using these in your apps because I'm really curious. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will get the final part of this series out to you as soon as I can. Thanks.